You're not studying English right now, but your brain thinks you are.
Funny, isn't it?
You're just sitting here, enjoying a story. But in the background, your brain is picking up natural grammar, useful phrases, and how real English sounds. That's the power of learning without pressure. If you want to learn English in a way that feels fun, easy, and natural, make sure you subscribe, tap that like button, and come back every day. We've got a new story for you, every single day. Alright, here's today's story. You're going to love this one. Leo had been in Rome for 2 days. The city already felt like a dream. Golden light on old stone buildings, the smell of coffee in the air, and soft music playing from windows above narrow streets. He had visited the Colosseum the day before and eaten the best pizza of his life in a tiny restaurant with only 4 tables. But today was all about the Vatican. He didn't have a tour booked or any fixed schedule. That wasn't really his style. He just liked walking, exploring, letting the day surprise him. That morning, he left his little guest house with a hoodie tied around his waist and a bottle of water in his backpack. The weather was cool but pleasant, with sunlight sliding between the buildings. As he walked through the streets near the Vatican, he felt a kind of calm energy, like something important was always happening here, but no one was in a rush. Locals sipped tiny cups of espresso, tourists checked maps or tried to pose in front of churches, and somewhere in the distance, bells were ringing. Leo had no idea what street he was on.
He didn't care.
He passed a bakery that smelled like heaven, and then a bookstore with postcards hanging outside. A little farther ahead, he heard laughter and the sound of water splashing. Curious, he followed the sound and turned a corner. That's when he saw it, a playful-looking street fountain built into the ground. It wasn't a big fancy fountain with statues or marble figures. It was just a patch of pavement with water shooting out of small holes in random bursts. Kids were running through the sprays, squealing and laughing as they got soaked. Parents stood nearby, cheering or recording videos on their phones. A few older tourists were laughing too, pointing at the kids and shaking their heads.
Leo smiled.
It was the kind of scene you don't find on travel websites.
This wasn't planned. It just happened.
A random moment of joy on an ordinary Roman street. He took out his phone to record a short video. The water jets weren't constant. They shot up at different times, changing height and direction like they had minds of their own. He stepped a little closer, trying to get a better angle. The ground didn't look wet near the edge, so he figured it was safe. He focused his camera and waited. That's when the water hit him. A stream shot up from the hole right beside his foot and sprayed directly into his face. It wasn't just a little splash, it was a full-force jet of cold water. He gasped and took a step back, almost slipping. The crowd nearby noticed instantly. People laughed, some clapped, and one person shouted something in another language that sounded very excited. Leo was frozen for a second, his shirt completely wet, his hair dripping, and his hoodie now useless. He wiped water from his eyes, looked around, and finally laughed along with everyone else. What else could he do? Someone handed him a napkin. Someone else offered him a smile and pointed to a dry bench nearby. Leo nodded and walked over, still laughing at himself. He sat down and tried to dry off a bit. His backpack was wet on one side, and his jeans clung to his legs. His socks squished when he moved his toes.
Nice one, Leo, he thought.
Only you could come to the Vatican and end up in a surprise shower. As he sat there, he watched the fountain continue its game with the next group of people. A man in a suit tried to walk through without getting wet. No chance. He got sprayed right in the chest, and the whole street exploded in laughter again. Leo stayed on the bench for a while, enjoying the moment. His clothes were starting to dry slowly, and the sun felt good on his back. Eventually he stood up, feeling lighter than before. Something about that surprise had made his day better, not worse. He felt part of the city now, like Rome had played a joke on him, and he'd taken it well. He walked on, a little soggy, a little sun-warmed, and completely happy. That was today's story. And the crazy part is, while you were listening, you were learning. You heard real English, natural expressions, grammar that flows without needing to memorize it. That's what makes stories so powerful. So here's your mission. Tell us in the comments, have you ever gotten soaked like Leo? Maybe in the rain?
Or from a fountain?
Share your story below. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and come back tomorrow. We've got another story waiting just for you.
See you soon.